What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing 2 looks with the new Norvina Volume 5 palette. I remember being so excited for the Norvina palettes when they first came out and doing multi-looks videos with them, and I think I did multiple multi-looks videos with the first 2 that came out. So like I wound up doing like 4 or 5 looks with each. As where are you? Hello? Oh God. Join the rest of the group. This color story, on the other hand, is, it's pretty, it's fun, we don't hate it, but it's not exactly inspiring me to do 10 million looks with it. You know, like, I don't mind doing some looks with it, we're gonna have a good time, but I'm not like as blown away by this color story as ones in the past, just for the record, before we even get started. Also, my hair is doing a lot of things, and like, I'm pretty sure most of them are not good. When you don't film for a while, it's like the little things that used to be just so easy about it just don't be so easy anymore. You know what I mean? I don't understand how about you just go back there? How about that, huh? Also, if you notice my lighting is a little bit off today, that's because it is a little bit off today. I sat down to film for the first time in weeks, and of course, the second I turn my lighting on, my ring light blows out. So I tried to like rearrange the other lights so that it made up for it. I don't know if it's going to work as well as it usually does, but I could not get a ring light bulb replacement here fast enough to film a video with it, so we're working with what we've got today. A bitch really just can't catch a break, honestly. So as usual, I'm going to do a couple of looks with this palette today, and then at the end of the video, since we did a couple of looks and we'll like have our thoughts together about how the palette performs, we'll talk a little bit about what my thoughts are on it, like an initial first impressions kind of a review. I'll list everything else I used on my face in the description down below. I will also put timestamps and video chapters, so if you want to come back to one of the looks to recreate it, you could do that pretty easily. If you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll try to get back to it as much as I can. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. So let's just get into look number 1 with the Norvina Volume 5 palette. There's too many numbers in that sentence and I already don't like it. All right, let's get started. For the first look, I want to do something softer, but like interesting, you know? Like I want to make it a little bit fun, but still something like more achievable and not so structured and cut creasy. What is happening here? This is the inside of Norvina Volume 5. It is largely very purple based. There are some warmer shades in here. We have like a bunch of neutrals. Honestly, I don't think that purple is all that exciting these days, but we haven't played with any color in a while, so anything is exciting to me right now in this moment. I cannot with this. We're just gonna have to look past it though. So I'm gonna grab my beige number 6 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade A5, which is kind of like this mauvey taupe shade. I'm gonna start putting that through my crease. And I'm just gonna put it through the entire crease area and blend it out quite a bit. It's a little bit on the deeper side. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna do it all in one step and soften it out quite a lot because I like how this is kind of a little bit more neutral, so we can put whatever down in the other parts and it's all gonna blend. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go into B3 on a MAC 221 brush, and I'm just going to softly place that in the outer corner in a V shape, right up into the shade we put down in the crease, and just softly blend it toward the middle. I'm gonna take a clean brush and just blend the edges of that out, just to soften it, but not add any more color, because I don't want it to come up any higher. This shade is kind of blending away a little bit, which I don't love, not a fan of that. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit of patchiness right in the center area. So we'll see how this goes, Ms. Norvina. I'm gonna go in the shade D4 on the same brush. I'm gonna put it on the inner portion of the eye. I'm leaving the center open. I'm gonna bring it up to the same height I brought that other color, blending it right into the crease shade that we put down. Sigma EO6, I'm gonna go back into the shade A5 that we started with, and I'm gonna put that through the crease again just to blend that shade into the crease shade because I felt like we're kind of losing it a little bit. There is some element of these blending away and maybe getting a little bit patchy so far, and I'm not living for it, if I'm being quite frank. And for this little open portion that we have in the center, I'm gonna get crazy, and this might be a mistake, but we're gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna go into the shade C4. I'm gonna pick it up on my ring finger, and I'm just gonna press it into the empty portion of the lid. I wanted this to be like a playing with different textures and different tones kind of a look, but keep it soft. So the warmer shade with a little bit of shimmer in the middle compared to the mattes was like the plan, you know what I'm saying? And with that MAC brush, I'm just gonna blend it into the surrounding shades. Okay, I popped some concealer under my eyes, and I also put down quite a bit of powder so it catches any potential fallout. I haven't really had any issues with fallout so far, but I wanted to be extra careful because purple, if you get a little bit of fallout of purple, you know, sometimes it really just looks like a black eye, you know? It gets to that place very quickly. So for the lower half, I'm gonna just like reflect the shades that we did on the top half. I'm gonna start with my MAC 221 brush. I'm gonna go back into B3. I am having a little bit of an issue with B3 because it does seem to be doing that thing where it like grabs darker in some spots than others. You can really see it on this side here, and like a little bit of patchiness. It's not the best shade, but we committed, so here we go. So I'm gonna put it on the outer half. I'm gonna bring it pretty low and then sweep it up into the shape that we created at the top. I am getting quite a bit of fallout actually, so now I'm glad I put down that powder. See? Anticipate problems so you don't have to deal with them later or something. That sounds like a motivational quote that I just made up, and it's not very good. And just like on the top, I'm gonna blend the edge of that out with a clean brush. I do have to say so far that the shimmers in this palette are very, very creamy, and I really like the middle shade here. It was C4. That one really, really nice. It's very, it sits nice on the lid. It's making everything look really smooth, but also foil-y looking, and that's not always easy to do, so we like that. Sigma E36, gonna go back into D4 and put that on the inner portion. I'm gonna probably come in here with a shimmer, maybe, I don't know. Should I? Fuck it, no I'm not actually. We're leaving it grungy looking. I'm also just blending the edge of that with a clean brush as well. Just like on the top, I'm gonna go into C4 on my finger and place it in the center. Hopefully it works well with my finger down here. If not, we'll go brushy with it. All right, at this point, I would normally apply a pair of strip lashes. What I've been doing lately just in life is wearing those tab lash extensions that you do yourself, and I took mine off just because I needed to do a new set and I wanted to like shower and get all the glue out before I filmed this video. So I'm gonna just reapply mine like I normally would with this makeup on because it works, it's fine. I've done that a million times and it works just great. If you wanted to, you could just use strip lashes with this, or no lashes really, that would also work. But if I was gonna use a strip lash, House of Lashes Siren Double, that would be my go-to booth, just in case you were wondering. I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back, and then we'll add a lip and it's gonna look nice. Oh, also, BUXOM sent over their new glosses, so I'm probably going to use one of those. And they are lovely so far from what I've tried, so looking forward to that. All right, lashes are redone. My skin's been finished. And while I was off camera, I also took a little detail brush, like a lip brush, and I went into the shade B1 and I put just a tiny bit of it right at the center of the lash line on the top and the bottom, and I feel like that just added like that little extra pop because this is like a very, very bright shimmering shade, so it just kind of added a little more like a right in the center, and I feel like that kind of made everything come together a little bit more, so I wanted to mention to you that I did it. Even though it was a very small little detail, it matters. It's the little things that count. This is one of the glosses that came out from the BUXOM summer collection. It is a full-on plumping lip cream, which is the ones that have like more of like a milky finish to them. This is a nice pink tone. I think it'll go really well with the color that we have on the inner corner here, but these are also pretty sheer, so I don't think it should like overtake the look, and that's kind of what I'm going for. And this is the first look. For the second look, my initial thought was that I wanted to do something a little bit more structured, maybe a cut crease, but as I was looking at this palette, because it is like a very stereotypical purpley sort of a palette, I feel like my lighting's uneven right now. I gotta fix it. Hold on. I'm thinking that I want to try to get a very smoky, sultry look out of it that you may not necessarily expect on first glance when you're looking at the palette. So that's the road I'm going down. To start that process, I'm going to go into the shade E2 on a BH number 6, and I'm going to start working that through my crease, and I'm going to bring it up very, very high toward my brow. I already had a little bit of a bronzer through my crease because I primed my eyes before I left the house. I had to run to the office for a few minutes, so that it looked like kind of together, and then I still had like a decent canvas to do makeup on when I got home. Hopefully that does not fuck up this look, but I think it should be fine. There's something happening up here where it's looking a little muddy and weird. Hopefully we can make that work before we finish this look. I'm going to take a Nobla large blender brush and I'm going to go into the shade E5. This is the darkest matte shade in this palette. And I'm going to pop that on the outer corner and also on the inner corner. And I'm going to grab a Sigma E36 and I'm going to take that same shade and bring it through the crease. I'm going to bring it a little bit above my natural crease too, just because we did bring that other color up pretty high and we're kind of like making this a pretty blown out smoky look, so we could afford to do that. This is giving me so much kickback in the pan though. Just wanted to show you. Look at the color next to it just from dipping in those couple of times. No. Just using a circular motion in the outer corner to try to connect that evenly into the crease shade, and then sweeping back and forth and working that through the crease as many times as I need to get it even, but this color is picking up and blending away. It is not doing well. Just like the color in the last look was not doing well, but that color was lighter and gave us a little bit more leeway, and I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled with how that just turned out. Okay, and on BH number 7, which is a little bit smaller, I'm gonna go into D5 and I'm gonna use that to bridge the gap between that really dark shade and the shade we put through the crease originally. Should just make it easier to blend since these are being a little bit on the difficult side. Okay, this is looking fairly decent, but it took some work to get here. I'm gonna grab my MAC 242 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade D3, which is kind of like a granity gray purple shimmer. We're gonna see what that do if we put it on the lid. So I'm gonna start right in the center where it was still open. I'm just gonna put it down across the lid and I'm gonna drag it over those other shades that we put down on the outside too. Again, that's really smooth and beautiful. I really think the shimmers in here outshine, no pun intended, the other shades for sure. See, that's like lovely. Love that. Love that. I'm gonna go into a little bit of shade C2, which is also kind of grayish toned. I'm gonna take it on a little flat brush and I'm gonna pop that right in the center of the lid to brighten up what we just put down. Then I'll blend it back in with the same brush that we used to put down D3, just to give it that little pop of dimension in the center. Put down a shit ton of powder to catch the fallout, and it's time to work on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna grab the Nobla Cupid's Arrow Stylo in number 3. It's kind of like this plummy eggplant purple shade. I'm gonna run that right through the waterline. And I'm gonna allow that to go through my bottom lashes as well, because it's gonna create a nice dense base for the shadow to sit on top of anyways. So it'll really just be doing us a favor if we let ourselves be a little bit messy about it. I'm just gonna use a pencil brush to smudge that through the lashes though. We don't mind messy, but we don't want chunky, I'll tell you that much. On that BH number 7, I'm gonna go into the shade D5. I'm gonna run that under the lower lashes and make it all the way out on the side till it gets to what we did at the top and makes it make sense. And on that little smudger brush, I'm gonna go back into E5 and start pushing that underneath the lower lash line, just along the lashes, just to deepen it up a bit more. And again, hook that around into what we did at the top so it matches. And for the finishing touch here, I'm gonna go into shade B1 on a pencil brush. I'm gonna use that to highlight the inner corner. I'm gonna pack a whole hell of a lot of it on there too. I'm gonna go finish up my skin and I'm gonna add some mascara and then we will see what we think about a lip. All right, freshened up my skin a little bit, and for the lip, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab another one of the BUXOM full-on lip polishes. This is the shade Dolly Daiquiri. It's very, very milky, kind of light pink. I'm gonna line my lips with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Lumiere, just to give them a little bit of definition. I think these will go well together, and I think this will all mesh well what we did on the eyeballs here. I have so much foundation on my nails. Oh my God. And this is the second look. So after doing 2 looks with this palette, my feelings are pretty mixed. The reason being the shimmers in this palette are like uniquely gorgeous. Like they're really buttery and they sit on the skin in a way that's like really, the texture is just like on point. Like they look smooth, but you can also see like the texture that's meant to be in the shadow. The one I put on the inner corner here, B1, has like a really pretty like jeweled texture to it, but it's also kind of smoothing on the skin. The shimmers are stunning, but the mattes are mediocre. Now, purples in general are some of the hardest to work with, traditionally speaking. But there are a lot of really good purples on the market now that don't get patchy and don't like blend away when you're blending them, that don't grab the primer or the oils from your skin and darken around the edges. Like there are a lot of purples out there that don't do that nowadays. So it is possible, and for an expensive palette, because this is a $60 palette, you would expect that that's the type of quality that you're getting in the mattes, and I just don't see that here. Packaging is very nice. It's cute on the outside. Again, purple's not really like my thing. That's not my type of color, especially like a pastel purple, but it is a nicely designed palette. It's got like a cool little prismatic thing going on. It's very on brand for them, and it's good quality packaging. So as far as that's concerned, I think it's fine. Yeah, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you picked this up. If you did, what did you think? Do you like purple palettes? Did you think that this palette was maybe too repetitive for their line because they have a lot of other purple palettes as well? Whatever it is that you think, whether it be about makeup or not, quite frankly, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. Literally, like if you just want to tell me what you ate for lunch today, I would be game to hear it. I love it. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, because it's very helpful to me and I would really appreciate it if you're new around here. Subscribe, because I would love to have you around for more videos. I have not been posting as often as I usually do because I have a lot going on right now, but eventually I hope to get back to posting at least one multi-looks video a week. So if we could get back to there, I'll be very happy. In the meantime, if you'd like to come follow me on Instagram and keep up with me day to day, I'm at Miss Quinface over there, and I'd love to have you. I keep my stories updated a lot, so if you just want to know what's going on when I'm not here on YouTube, that is the best way to figure it out. I hope you all have a great day today. Thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.